Have you ever seen a plane land sideways or bounce and sway right after touchdown? That's not a mistake, that's a crosswind landing. And it's one of the most technically demanding things a pilot can do. But why is it so difficult? And how do they pull it off? When a plane is in the air, it's not flying over the ground. It's flying through air. And when that air is moving, like a river current, it pushes the plane off course. So pilots have to point the plane into the wind, sometimes at a surprising angle, just to fly in a straight line over the ground. That's called crabbing. At cruising altitude, crabbing is no big deal. The plane just adjusts its heading, and the autopilot takes care of the rest. But on takeoff and landing, everything changes. You're no longer flying over abstract coordinates. You're aiming for a real, unmoving runway. That's when the wind becomes your enemy. Imagine a boat crossing a river. You aim upstream, so the current doesn't carry you off course. Same thing here. On final approach, the aircraft is pointing into the wind at an angle, not directly at the runway, just to fly a straight path over the ground. This sideways angle is called a crab angle. And yep, it's named after the way a crab walks sideways. The plane looks like it's sidestepping toward the runway, just like a crab scuttling across the sand. Funny image, but deadly serious in real life. If you touch down with your nose pointed sideways, the wheels will try to yank the plane straight, and that's when things get sketchy. The aircraft can skid, bounce, or swing side to side in a scary fishtail motion. So just before touchdown, usually at about 20 feet above the ground, the pilot has to decrab. That means use the rudder to align the nose with the runway, add aileron to keep the wings level, and flare, smoothly raise the nose to reduce descent speed. All at once, in a matter of seconds. There are two other ways to land in crosswind. Crabbed landing. You leave the crab in place and land slightly sideways. This is used on wet or icy runways to avoid abrupt movements. Side slip, wing low. The pilot aligns the nose with the runway early, banks into the wind, and flies cross-controlled all the way down. But here's the catch. Large commercial jets don't use side slip. Why? Because banking too much near the ground risks scraping a wingtip or engine. Crosswind landings demand precision. Even experienced pilots mess it up. Forget to flare, overcorrect the rudder, or decrab too late. That's why airlines limit how much crosswind a low-hour pilot can handle. Often no more than 15 knots. Crosswind landings are part science, part art. They test every pilot's coordination, timing, and feel for the aircraft. But when done right, it's beautiful. A perfect dance with the wind just before touching solid ground. See you in the next one.